Did you see what they did? How many times have you seen someone pull out their phone in the midst of your meeting? There was a couple times in our meetings where you couldn't, everybody was focused around a topic, and you just see a couple people off looking at their phone. And it's like it totally breaks up the relationship in the room. You go in for a meeting that's focused on a particular topic with a particular agenda. It's going to be short. And 5 minutes into it, you think you've lost that person. And they're the ones that are the decision makers. Why is that? Why do people feel that this is so important and that they can't have a conversation, that they can't put this aside? Well, I don't know if you know this, but there's a term for this. It's called nomophobia. Nomophobia is the fear of being without a mobile device, a power source, or a service area. So how many times do you line them all up? Oh my gosh, my phone is almost dead. You might have said that to yourself. Oh my gosh, my phone is almost dead. I got to get this out. I got to get this email out. Oh no, there's no cell signal. Oh no. The rest of us just sit back with our coffee and say, oh well, it can wait. Can it? As we build relationships, what do you look for? So I say because you know what you're looking at, what resonates with you. How do you approach being in a relationship? I'm going to give you the quick facts because Min D. Tran said this: great design is eliminating all unnecessary details. Wow. Hey, Lisa, you just missed the quote from Min D. Tran, who said, great design is eliminating all unnecessary details. All unnecessary details. And you missed nomophobia. Nomophobia, fear of being without a mobile device, a power source, and or a service area. So we're talking about in a relationship, how many times this comes up in our conversations, and where we get buried into this while we're talking to somebody else. How do you build a relationship? Whether you're in sales, whether you're in a family situation, just having dinner around the table. Maybe you're out in meeting somebody for the first time, not in a formal meeting, but maybe it's an interview. Maybe it's another situation, you're networking and you're trying to relate to someone, and they pull this up because suddenly this buzzed on them. So what's the details? What's unnecessary details? I'm going to pull all those away, strip them off. Here's 3 things you need to know. 3 things. 1 is be there. Be in the moment. Wherever your customers are, wherever your relationship that you're having, be there to meet them. If that person is there to meet you, be there for them. If it's online, well then of course you're going to do something with the device to get online. But this is where number 2 comes into place. Be useful. What you want to do is be able to take that online conversation and bring it in person. Because a relationship needs that in-person contact. Needs that interpersonal discussion. You can try texting, but you don't get the full thing. You get the text without the context. Like that? You get the text without the context. And then number 3 is be accountable. So there you go. If you don't want to watch anything else about this video, this is the 3 keys that you need to your approach to a relationship. All sweet, but there's a little bit more. I think there's some things that you need to understand about each of those. Are you game for it? Do you want to know more? I hope you do. We're going to talk just a few minutes. Keep this short. but be there. Be there where your customers are. Talk in person, online, wherever it is. Remember, they're searching. They're searching for you. Maybe they found you online, and so they want to develop a conversation. They want to have a sit-down meeting, just get to know you. Maybe you're doing in reverse. You're going to meet somebody. So you want to be there in that moment. You want to have presence of moment. You don't want to be distracted by this. You don't want to be distracted by this. Oh, I got to get the, super venti, super extra large, 7 sugars, 4 shots, whatever. Gingerbread latte with extra cream and a cherry on top and, sprinkles. And you don't want to be focused on this. This brings no value other than it may give you pause, and you may have a good experience from drinking it, but it's only temporary. It's a much more rewarding situation to be in person, to have presence of mind, and ask curious questions, to develop a bridge, to connect. Are you selling something on, whether you're in a marketing group and you're trying to sell your product, or you're there to get people to, get their business card or to create a conversation? Are you really building a relationship for relationship purposes? And yes, something down the road may come that you might be able to help them with something that they have a need for. Or are you simply jumping to the end? Are you jumping to, some sales number that you got to get? So be useful. Connect in person. I've got some notes here. I just wanted to make sure that I'm, capturing the essence of what I thought about, what I'm bringing to you. Are you matching their real need? So the real need, whether they know it or not, is to connect, because we are social people. Whether we're introverted, extroverted, ambiverted, whatever verted, we are people that need to connect. We need to have a conversation. So it's been said that, millennials and more recent generations are, fully focused on this and using this as a tool to develop relationships, to connect. But it's really, there's still, I think Generation Z is starting to show some inroads and coming back to personal conversation. But it's hard, and it's hard for them to connect because they are used to being able to direct or influence through text without the content, without the context, right? They can send emoji. There's a whole movie, Emoji. Really? We have to, and it's been said that we're going to communicate in pictures of emojis, and that's how we're going to have a conversation. Guess what? Our ancestors did that too. You go back to the Egyptian times, they put pictures on the wall. And then generations later are trying to say, what does that mean? I think written word might be easier, but even that loses the vocalization of how it's said. Lisa says, I know my students are always impressed when I ignore my phone during their lesson. I tell them they are what is most important in that moment. The look on their face is priceless. Absolutely. So are you meeting their real need? The real need is social. Their real need is to learn. The real need is to see and hear a story, perhaps. Maybe they're having a rough day. Maybe they're just having something that's bothersome in their life, and they need to air it, or they need to understand how to approach it differently. They're thinking outside of their head. This is a box, right? This is a box. Sometimes they got to think outside to be able to hear it from the outside. Be accountable. So remember, your business or whatever you're going for, your family relationship, your community, organization, whatever, has an end in mind. Now, you may say, well, I'm in the car business and that's what our end in mind is. How many cars can we sell by August 31st? We have a goal. We got to, go through those goals. And I got to do everything to match those goals. Well, that's short-sighted, isn't it? You're only going for the goal to sell the car, to push the car out the lot, but you're not doing something even better. And that's building an ongoing relationship. How many car dealers, salespeople will tell you if you sell them a car to meet their need, to build a relationship, then meet their need, they'll continue to come back to you. If you treat them right, it's the same way in our family. If you treat the family member right, the relationship continues and comes back, and people trust, and people build loyalty, and people know that they can come to you because you have a listening ear, you have a compassionate heart, you have love within you. So your business may have goals, but the goal is really to build a relationship, to keep an ongoing relationship. I know in the banking industry, I was in banking, and at times there was sales goals. And what people focused on was sales goals, and then they realized, oh, wait a minute. At the same time, we need to sell them into multiple products. So there we go. We're still thinking them as a number instead of, hey, like the old days, build a relationship with your banker. They'll be there for you for a long time to meet your needs. Isn't it what we have within life? We need to be accountable by being entrepreneurial. You need to take steps to be a relationship focused, to build a relationship, to serve people's needs ahead of our own needs. Yes, we have a goal in mind. We have an end in mind. We have to make a sale. If we're sales bound, otherwise we'll lose our job. But if you build a relationship properly, that relationship will continue to pay dividends. So that's it for today. Just gave you up front, cut the unnecessary details, gave you the three things: be there, be useful, and be accountable. Those are the three. Are you nomophobia? Do you focus in on the device, or do you focus in on the relationship? And don't worry what they did, because maybe it was a family situation they were trying to avoid blowing up into something bigger. Or maybe it was something that they were doing to find an answer that they were looking for in their mind on how to answer you, or waiting for that moment to get an announcement of birth in their family. So don't worry about the device so much, but be there. Our relationships will be much better if we're there in the moment, ever being present. Will you commit this day? Hi, Randy. It's a long time since we talked up in Green Bay. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's connect soon. See you soon. And thanks, Lisa, for all those comments. Thanks for the engagement. And look forward to chatting with you later. Take care now. Remember, tomorrow we'll even go further. Come back. I hope you join me for another chat. Let's build a relationship together.